Hello and welcome back to the Roads of Elden Ring. Today we are doing all of the Gaol-type dungeons. And if I remember correctly, there are 3 of them. We have the first one that we can possibly explore, which is the Belorod Gaol. Then there is the Lamentus Gaol. And I think the only one left is then the Bonnie Gaol. The other dungeons are the Ruined Forges that are still left. And we also have the Rivermouth Cave left. I don't know when I want to do this one. It depends on whether or not I have time after the jails over here. And some of the jails are a bit tricky, but first I need to figure out which way I need to go. Probably this way, right? Because usually it goes down and it doesn't go down here. And is it just me or is the game fairly silent? Whatever. Alright, jail. The jails are a new type of dungeon with a new kind of aesthetic. Usually if we go into... I don't have them explored here, but usually you have a handful of types of dungeons, right? You have your, for example, the dungeons over here, like your mining cave systems and whatnot, right? This one is a new type that we haven't had before, luckily. And for example, the catacombs are a type of dungeon that we already knew of. There are quite a lot of catacomb dungeons in the base game. Luckily the jail dungeons are new. So let's explore them. First one that we can enter is the Belorod Gaol, and it looks impressive. Doesn't this look nice? Quite the big scope if you think of that this is underneath Belorod. Kinda hard to believe. It looks almost cold down here. I mean, not almost, it looks cold down here just because of the blue tint to everything. Makes me feel like this is ice, but it's not, I guess. But yeah, it starts out strong, somewhat. It shows us what we can expect from these kind of dungeons, like the new enemies that we already have seen in the overworld, and also a new type of enemy that usually appears in these dungeons. I mean, I guess it's cold down here, the frozen maggot. It must be cold here, so it's not only the... I wonder why it's so cold. I mean, yeah, it's a cave system underground. Should be somewhat chilly. But that it has a specific ice theme is kind of weird. Well, whatever. It starts out strong because... Now we have to go. Now we have to continue. And we have to press forward because usually you're getting attacked here. What I wonder though is where this staircase leads to, or would have led to. Because it was broken down, right? It stopped. Where are my binoculars in the second slot? Right. So it stopped right here. But usually, I mean, there was a cave in or it broke off, but where does it lead to? Like in the middle of this platform over here? Would be kind of weird. Like I would have expected the staircase to either follow this wall until you're like here. That would make sense, kinda. So I would wish there to be more rubble on this side, but I'm just nitpicking here. Some of these jails, specifically the other 2, I can't remember which one, are somewhat tricky because they're fairly complex. But this one isn't that complex. I mean, it's quite vertical. Usually everything that you can see, you can explore. So we can be over there at some point, we're going to be there. Then down there is something interesting looking. And yeah, there's an enemy, so sure. What would have been kind of sick if they were a bit closer together, these jail-type dungeons, that you could see a big underground cave system, you could see the other dungeons, but that's not the case here. Everything that you see here is one dungeon. But yeah, let's keep exploring. I wonder where we see the first new enemy type. That isn't really new to us, but would have been new to us if we were to go in here like very early on. I'd also come to think of it, this looks like it would break so easily. Because the game has done this once, you would expect this to break as well. But apparently that's not the case here. And now you're getting kind of paranoid. Every time there's a corpse hanging on the edge, you have a thin bridge like that, you would expect it to cave in. Luckily that's not the case here. But look at that, how big this area is. Or how big this area feels. It's not really that big, but... And of course it's a jail. So you would expect there to be quite a few jail cells and cages and stuff like that. What's kind of interesting is that they're using Ghost Flame here. I mean, this is Ghost Flame, right? Yeah. Kinda weird. Because this doesn't really have... that's not really the right vibe in my opinion. But it fits. Of course it fits. We can drop down over here. But do we want to do that right now? Probably not. We want to explore first. There's nothing really here. Unfortunately enough. I mean, aren't these spots... No, okay. But they kind of look like it. I feel like we should have encountered the new, quote-unquote, new enemy type. Yeah, a bit earlier, but maybe that's not the case. Hard to remember right now. But also, what's a good idea when you enter the later dungeons, and I kind of appreciate that they have these tables here for the staff, I guess, to eat. Kind of nice that they have this here. But what is a good idea, or would be a good idea, to use Moke's or Margit's Shackle if you want to have it a bit easier, because especially in one of the other two dungeons, I don't know which one, but in one of the other two, maybe in both, there are quite, not a few, but there is a hidden wall, or a illusory wall. But please, not the jar or anything but that. I promise I won't ever do it again. I swear, a living saint I'll surely be. Please, you must forgive me, please, right? That's what they're doing here. They're stuffing the people in the jars. And that's where they're created, in these jails, and I guess in Bonnie Village as well. Then before we descend the obvious path, there's another room over here, so let's see what's in here. Right, we have quite a big space here. There's this one jar with one of the new enemy types. But we're supposed to get lured by this one. And yeah, this is the new enemy type. We've already seen this. Nothing new. But living saint. Person in the middle, basically the one standing is a shaman, and the fleshy mass on the back are a bunch of other people. And they're using one shaman for that because for some reason they have the ability to fuse or whatever. I guess to heal, but then it's a false healing because they're not only healing themselves, they're fusing everything. Like, it's like grafting. So I wonder if, now come to think of it, I wonder if, what's his name? Godric uses a similar technique, or why it's working with Godric, where that worked in the first place, because he's using parts of shamans. Because usually you wouldn't expect that to fuse together, right? So over here you can just drop down very easily. But now we have to decide. Obvious path is down here, but then we wouldn't miss out on this part. So we want to do this definitely first. If we have a look around, there are no items on these jars, luckily. Because that would mean you had to backtrack in order to get everything, and that's not fun. Jump down here. There are a few small jars, so I wonder if they were using children for that. Kind of cruel. So let's see what's in here. Hefty cracked pot. Somewhat decent reward here. A big jar here. Quite a few small jars. Nothing special item-wise though. Few of these. But no hidden elements here. Now we're already on this part. And oh man, I don't like this area down there. The only thing that we can do here is go this way. Along the bridge, there are two enemies here, I think, or just one. No, these two jars. Yeah. Actually, 3 jars. But now, of course, it has to happen again. And this is how you end up down here. And I don't really like this area. Because what I don't like is if I can't see where I'm going, and I can't really see where I'm going, and this is quite the labyrinth. It's easy to get out of here. You just follow one path, but in order to get every single item, it's kinda annoying. Here we can go in 2 directions. This is an enemy, of course. Yeah, fairly easy to make out by the different coloring or lighting. Not coloring, it's a different lighting. I know we have the problem. I want to grab every single item. It's fairly easy to just drop some of these so you know where you were. It's kind of a good idea, come to think of it. Drop one here. Maybe over here. Because you can also walk on some of these. Then this is where the jar blocked the path. Drop one in here, just in case. And we were already out of here, but that's not fun, right? Because there are quite a few items left. One over here, then the game shows us that there's a second portion. And I guess this is not connected to the first round that you can make. Oh no, can you get back? Oh yeah, it's fairly easy. Okay. Thank you that we have the jump option. I guess this is where you can get back. No, it's a different loop. See, I'm getting confused by this. So there are 3 loops in total. And it's kinda... It's not really hard to navigate, but it's kinda annoying to navigate. But I guess dropping these stones is a fairly good idea. Because as you can see, there are quite a few loops. It looks much bigger than it looked before. Here we can jump on the jars to look around. Wonder... Nah, almost. So that was this path as well. That kind of jump scared me a bit. Let's get over here, grab this one. Another cracked pot. So I wonder, this is where we came from. Then which loop do we want to take? Let's just mark this one here. Because it kind of feels like they're connected, but maybe not. Oh no, there wasn't even another one. I thought this would have been one. You can get... No? Come on. Aww. Unfortunate. Right. Drop down here. So this is 3rd or the 4th loop. Can't remember. Nothing really here. Just drop a few more stones. Just not to get... so that we are not getting lost here. Or question ourselves. We were here before or not. So confusing, this layout. Ah shit, did I miss something here? See, I'm getting confused already. I don't even know where I am right now. That's not really true, but... No, it's dried up. Come on. Let me pass. Okay, I drop down here. Let's see if there's anything. Is this the newest loop? I don't think, right? That's not the newest one. Right. Another hefty crackpot. And now we are through. Are we? This is probably the first loop. Yeah, okay. See how confusing that is? Even with the stones, because look how big this area is. It doesn't really look that big, but it is. And the fact that you can't really have a big overview, like you're not standing somewhere near to the ceiling, it makes it kind of hard to navigate. Or to grab everything. You can do a final loop around. And stick to one side maybe. Stick to one side-ish. We can get up, go up here. This is where some items were. This is where we've gotten the first thing. Then we go over to the next area, to the 3rd now. Other items here. Not just the items on the ground. 3rd loop. Grab the item here. And dropping back to the beginning. Alright. Now let's get out of here. Well, let's continue actually. Because that's quite confusing. At least in my opinion. Right. Next area. Next part. Certainly something over here that is not that obvious. Another warrior jar. Some early game upgrade materials, showing us that this area is not that complex or not that high level. And yeah, they have this grab attack. Right. And this is a bigger version. It's quite bigger. So there are a few things that we can do here. The obvious path is, somewhat obvious path is this one. We don't want to take this. This is where the boss is. We don't want to be there yet. The not that obvious path is this one. Dropping down here. Allowing us to ride this elevator up. Drop down on this one. Go over here. This seal is to call the elevator's attention, I guess. Now I can jump from platform to platform. And we're at the big jar. The one that we've seen from, well, fairly high up. This is where the path collapsed. Now we're finally here. Oop, let me... Here we're getting the great jar, it's a helmet. Hooray. Another obnoxious helm. Where is it? Looks kind of funny. Nope. That was the old attire. We're doing this now, right? Okay. The way we are getting back should be over here. Yeah. Drop down here. I don't think you need to jump for these parts, right? You just drop down. Now we can just continue our way to the boss fight. And if I remember correctly, this one is the... This one is the... is Yoda, right? Should be Yoda. What I mean by Yoda is literally Yoda. Yeah. It's the... What are they called? A demi-human, right. We already have a sword master in our possession as a summon. This is the other one. Let's begin the fight. He's still attacking me. I don't like that. Come on, Mimic Tier, take the aggro. Stop ignoring my Mimic Tier. You two are supposed to fight. I don't know what's going on here. I guess the Mimic Tier would lose. Ah, that's such a cool attack. Grab attack here. Come on, for fuck's sake. Why is it ignoring the Mimic Tier? Huh, just die. Not worth the effort then. What do we get here? I wonder. Nothing. Cool. I wonder what causes that. Maybe it's the hide from enemy part. Probably. Let's get out of here. Hopefully the Mimic tier despawns. Right, first jail done. Now to the second one. We have the Lamenter's jail and we have Bonnie jail. Let's go over to the Lamenter's jail, which is... Is it in the red area or is it in a blue area? I think it's in the... in the red area, right? So you can access this by going through the dragon part. Let me quickly get out of here to confirm that. Yeah. Red flower area. So it's been a while. In order to get here, and you need to go through the dragon's pit. First of all, go over the Elec Great Bridge. Follow this path up here to the side. Through the dragon's pit. Go south. Where the big dragon is. Behind the big dragon. Kairos Hidden Grave or whatever it's called. Go through this area. And then we're here. The other one can be accessed by Bonnie Village, so you have to go, not necessarily, but most people go through Castle Ensis. You obviously also can go underneath this part and jump up to the Fort of Reprimand and then go this way in order, so you can skip Castle Ensis, but most people don't do that, I imagine. Now the next jail... Oh, it's the confusing one. Locked. Right. So you go back and we see this fun. When we see this before? It's kind of hard to see because you're drawn, your attention is being drawn to that gate, I feel like. And to that torch. So you don't necessarily see this path. Your first way around, but then you notice, oh, it's locked? Weird. Right. And this is kind of fucked now. This kind of looks suspicious. This is the one with the illusory wall, I think. So let's mark some areas in order to not get lost, because there's already another path. This is another path. This looks like it would break, but it's not, I think. Let's go here first and see what options we have. Looks like there's nothing here. Empty cell. Mark it as already explored. Next cell. Treasure chest. With the jail upper level key. So maybe we can open the first cell that we've seen. I mean, it's worth a try, right? And yeah, that's the key. Oh, and here we have a hole. Let's mark this hole in our memory. Maybe I should have went down there, but this is not breaking. I'm doubting myself here, but... And also, this looks awfully like a hidden path, but it's not. Oh, that's a big one. Kind of looks like they have failed wings as well. Disgusting. Right, maybe I should just get rid of it. I don't like this fleshy sound it makes. Mark this room, just in case. Here we have a ghost. Please, I can't stand the sound. I need no salvation. Please stop, desist. Your wretched lamentation. I are Lamenter's jail, right. Item over here, don't know which one. Hope it's not a key. That's it, I think. We have to take the... Just in case. Mark this room. It's kind of unfortunate that I don't see certain items. Because they're counted as picked up, but... what will I do? It's not a new save file. Kinda looks like... Nah. Doesn't really look like you can jump down there. Maybe it does. Well, you can fall fairly deep in these games, but... Or on Elden Ring specifically. So, this is kinda hard. We go to this side. There's a hole here. We can jump down this hole. Do we want to do that? I don't know. Get rid of this idiot. Let's see what's inside here. I didn't want to do that. Ooh, chilling perfume bottles. Quite useless, but cool that we have a new weapon here. Mark this as explored. Very important not to get lost. Use your stones. Then, path up here. Fuck's sake. Can't be opened. Nothing of value in there. Can't be opened. Ah, shit. This is such a clusterfuck. But right, okay. Shit happens. Shit like this happens if you're exploring. So you need to adapt. And we've marked the upper areas, which is nice. Right, there's a path here. Oh, I should have marked the area where I dropped down. Yeah, it's this one. Locked. Great. Let me quickly go back and mark this place as explored. And over here there was a locked door. So I don't mark that one as explored because I need a key for that. Coal of Tibia, quite the useless item. It's a consumable, right? We're summoning a skeleton. Yeah, okay, it's one of these. We're summoning a skeleton. This can be marked as explored. This one is not. And this one I'm not marking as well. And we continue going upwards. Go inside this one. Let's safely go down here. You probably don't want to drop down there. Looks like death. This is another path of... Oh, we can actually... Can we get up here? No. Looks like we would drop down there. Oh no, we can loop back around. That's fine. Okay. Go down. Explore this area. Get rid of a few jars here and there. Bunch of corpses lying around. Disgusting. And blood rivers. Let's see what's inside the chest. Jail lower level key. Yeah, honestly, I don't know which level we are at right now. More hefty cracked jars. Is this the way we came from? I think so. Right, this is just leading back around. This is just to collect some items and the key, which is important, but there is no further progression path. I mean, of course, this was a progression path. We just got a key, but hope you know what I mean. This is what I mean by it's quite complex, so you might want to... I think it's a good idea to utilize these stones as much as possible, just to not get confused. Because especially if you... What do I want to say? Especially if you have to fight through this, and it's quite the hard fights, then you might get lost. Amenta's visage. It's a lantern. Or a torch, technically. Quite the useless effect. I think it's... See, I don't know what it's doing. Covering the eyes, unleashing a way of limiting while temporarily making the users harder to see, but as you can see, the duration is very short. If it had a longer duration, it would have been much better, but it has not. And here we are on the other side of this drop. This is where we dropped in. Let's mark this as explored. We can technically just drop down again. So we loop back around, or we can keep on going this way. But I wonder... Whatever. Continue. Mark this as explored. Marked as explored. So this is the only way we can take. Right. Grab a Reno. Nothing here. Nothing. No, nothing there. And then mark this as explored. Maybe this too. Now we should be back in the... or close to the main part. Because if we're going out here, we can see this, that this is the main part. This is the main cave. This is the ladder we came down. This is where we were. Up there is the path we took originally. Where the cave-in was. That's the only thing that we can do here, so let's also mark this as explored. Now, what do we have left? We have one hole left. We have this ladder over here left. So 2 paths so far. And another path over here. And something tells me that these areas are all connected to each other. So let's just take the hole and see where it leads us to. Mark this as traversed and drop down. Put down a stone here. Just so that we... doesn't really matter. Maybe put on some lights. And mark everything. Here we find just a few rats. Big rat over there. Few small rats here and there. I triggered it. Now we have 2 paths. Let's just take one of these. Don't really know which one. So there's a ladder. I wonder which ladder this is. Is it the side room, or is it the room that is on the far end? Looks like the side room. Yep. Mark this as explored. go down again. Mark this as explored as well. Now let's see where this leads us to. Because I think at some point you can go to ways, or you have something where there's another hole next to this one. Don't know where though. Oh, it might be this one. Right, this should be the area where we were in. Yeah, that's the open chest. You can see it there. This is where wasn't there a side hole? Oh. Oh, whatever. Okay. It's confusing me now. I don't know where the other path is. I thought this was the other path. See, I'm getting lost again. Ugh. Oh no, I haven't. This is literally it. I have to go the last path. I have to take the last path, the other... What is it? The other ladder. I have to go down the other ladder. And that one should lead us to the boss arena, I think. Right in front of the boss arena. To the fog wall. Yeah, there it is. Right. Lamenter's Jail, pretty unique. What I'm doing here, I'm disabling the hide from enemies part. Maybe this way. This will work. Because here we have quite a unique enemy again. Yeah, this works now. Come on, utilize your special mechanic. Yeah, there we go. It's getting invisible, or becoming invisible. Is it bugging out? No, it's not. Okay. He multiplies himself. It's only one real type. It's kind of cool how many different moves they have. Unfortunately, the player only has the option of this stupid headbutt and not the smoky projectile, which is quite unfortunate. Oh, I wonder what this is. I wonder if this is instant death. I haven't really tried out this mechanic, but it looks like a counter. That there are now 3 heads surrounding me. I wonder if this instantly kills. Would be kinda cool. But I wonder how I accumulate these. I don't really know the mechanic of this boss fight, honestly. Let's see if there is a... Oh yeah. Now what? I wonder. Let's turn on the HUD and see if I'm losing any HP or if something is happening here. Now, Mimic Tear not really dealing that much damage. Looked more brutally before. Having quite the trouble, I see. Is that everything? Holy shit, they have quite a lot of HP. Let's just end it. It's quite the tanky one. But I wonder what these skulls are doing. If someone knows, please write it down in the comments. There we go. There's a cool, unique semi-player character boss fight. Here the thing that you're getting is the... Where's the transformation item? The Lamenter's Mask. Not that useful. You've seen how the transformation looks like, but you can only do the headbutt, not the black projectile kind of thing, which is unfortunate, if I remember correctly. Right, but we can mark this as... as explored. Why is it not going away? Whatever. Final one is going to be the Bonnie Jail. As you can see, it's quite complex. Like the Lamenter's Jail was somewhat complex. Now it's gone good. Now the final one, Bonnie Jail. Let's see what this one has to offer. This is definitely the one where you're getting the armor set. The night armor set. Night, whereas in day and night. Not like the night. Oh, and I make myself invisible again. Here we go. Here we can drop down, but this would be a point of no return, so I'm kind of hesitant right now. As everyone should be. Mark this as explored. Grab the stupid item, mark this as explored. Maybe we should drop down, because something tells me that this leads to this item over here. We can actually see that. Oh. But I'm hidden, I should be hidden. There's a ladder over there. So I just assume that if I drop down here, I gain access to the ladder from down below. Oh, this is even an elevator? It's kind of weird. Why would that be an elevator? It just leads back up again. Okay, that's kind of cool. So it's not even a point of no return. Or an unofficial. Well, there's an item up there. Should have grabbed that at some point. Yeah, just drop down. Can we drop down further? Nope. Item in here. Some jump scares here and there, which is fine. I hate it when they block me. Come on. Even in death they block. This... Oh, this is... okay. Didn't expect that. It's been some time since I've explored these. But this is just a dead end, which is good, I guess. Unexpected, though. Right. Only path that we can take is this one. I kind of feel like I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something. But hopefully this loops back around. Yeah, there's a chute. I have to jump down. So let's see if this at some point loops back around. I can mark this as explored. So if we are at some point on the other side of that gate or gutter, I can mark it, or I have it marked. Doesn't really matter which way you're going here. Ah, this is what I've meant. Just a small little side path. I thought it was an Lamenter's chair. Okay, this is where we can get back up again. Let's quickly see where this leads to. If it's the one cell or not. And it is the one cell. Okay. So you can see this is where the glowing stone is. And this is where we were at the start. Which is quite nice. So we can just go in one direction now. Small little side path to the other side of this stone formation. We should have just one path that we can go right now. Which is this one. Oh, quite a few slimes. Ah, and this is what I've meant. Okay, let's mark this as explored. We can decide to go this way now. Which maybe leads us to the other side of the gutter. Yeah, there we go. And which leads us to a potential drop. Right. Or let's quickly see what's on the other side of, well, this part here. Let's quickly see where this leads us to. Just an item, okay. So you're supposed to go this way first, grab the item, then notice, hey, I'm missing something, and then you see, oh, there are two paths here. That's something they really like to do, and I appreciate that because it's a nice level design, right? You're going one path, and at some point you notice, oh, it's not, I can't go any further. And then you go back and all of a sudden you see, oh, there was another path right next to the path that I've already taken. Which is quite nice. It's backtracking, but productive backtracking. Let's call it that. It's not unnecessary backtracking. Can't open this. Mark this as explored. Just so that from the other side we see that this is already explored. And we're not wondering, oh, how do I get there? Grab this item. There's something out there. We can look inside again at some point. And if I see that correctly, this is the only path. So drop down. Grab the item, get jump scared again. It's expected. Speedy one over here. Another one in this jar. And if you think, oh man, he's speeding through this. Yes, I'm a bit speeding through this because it's already been like 50 minutes or so. It's quite a long recording. But this should get the layout across quite nicely. You can see the boss arena from here. So let's see item in here. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop that camera. Let's mark the staircase. Let's see. At some point, I think this is the one where you can get the armor set. Can open this one, okay. There's nothing in here. Was there an elevator? There was this elevator, okay. But it just came from above. It just came from above. So that might have been a hint that you're not supposed to keep on going because it came from above, which means it's a hint. Like usually you wouldn't see that it's... Yeah, see? That's the nice thing. Like it came from above, which means it's like a hint. Like otherwise they wouldn't have shown this. It's a hint like, oh, be careful, there is something up here. And this is where we can get this armor set. Right, and there's a corpse here. And we get the knight armor set. So I wonder if this is... this should be the sister, right? Where is it? This should be Anna, right? Oops. I wanted to sprint there. Now we can go back down technically. But let's see where this should lead inside. Yeah. Inside the big room. Shield of Night. So now that we get the Shield of Night here, this lets me think like this should be Jolan, because her sister doesn't, like Anna doesn't have a shield, does she? She has the claws or the throwing knife kind of things. That's probably Anna. She invaded us from inside the jail, I guess. And I keep dropping. But this is kind of a nice game design. It's showing us that this elevator is coming from above, which means it should go back up again at some point, right? Quite nice. Quite a nice design. At first, I totally forgot that, but I've seen the item. Like I've seen on my first playthrough, I've seen the item through the gate. You know, through the gutter. So I was searching and searching how I couldn't find this. I think I had to watch a video for this. I wasn't observant enough, and I don't know if on subsequent walkthroughs, so to speak, without teleporting, the elevator is coming from above again. Like if you're constantly going through the level and searching without resting. I think the elevator does it only once, right? So because the first time I didn't get the hint or I didn't see it, like the hint was lost on me. This one is kind of boring. Like it's just an enhanced version of the, what are they called? Curse blades. Yeah, Curse blade, my god. Curse blade labyrinth. Come on, summon the mimic tier. Bing bong. But it's just teleporting around. It's a Curse blade with an enhanced moveset. Which makes it a bit boring. I kind of wish that this one would look different than the other ones. Or that there are no other ones. That this would have been a unique boss fight. Maybe in an area that is less optional. Because the shadow moves are kind of cool, but The rest not so much. Deals a lot of damage to the Mimic tier. If you compare the Curse Blade here to the Lamenta, quite a difference. Don't know what we get in here. Do we have a Curse Blade summon? Maybe we get the Curse Blade summon here. I don't know. The first one with the monkey, with the demi-human, we got the, I think, demi-human swordsman Yosh. That's the one we get in there, if I remember correctly. Then the second Lamenta's Jail with the Lamenta, we obviously got the Lamenta transformation. And here, maybe, just maybe, we're getting the Curse Blade Mira. Might be wrong though. But this one has red eyes, which means they're not following you, they're just constantly aggroing to enemies they see. But yeah, these are the jails. I'm kinda glad that they did not add more of these, because then I feel like you would get fatigued on the aesthetics of the jails. Because 3 is fine, but 4 or multiple more than that is it's grinding. It's grinding the gears basically. But yeah, these were the jails. Kinda nice to see a new kind of layout, a new or aesthetic. And I think in the next episode we will do we'll definitely do the Ruined Forges, and I guess the Rivermouth Cave as well. This is where we will start the next episode. Sadly, this one doesn't really fit into all of the other ones. But it's a fairly short one. We will do this at the beginning of the next and probably final episode of the Roads of Elden Ring. If there is a game that you would like me to go through, maybe a game that I haven't played, let me know. There should be at least an RPG or maybe like a Souls game or similar to this. Maybe something entirely different. Should have been blind then, because I've proposed last episode that we do Hollow Knight, not necessarily a run through, but something similar to a Roads of Hollow Knight, although I don't know jack shit about the game. So it would be like a mix out of a first impression, necessarily not first impression because I know half of the game or so. It's been some time, and a walkthrough, whatever. Let me know what you think, and that's it from me. I see you in the next and last episode of the Roads of Elden Ring, and goodbye.